So our next speaker in this panel comes from Magzter, the chief executive and co-founder, Girish Ramdas.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to start discussing on opportunities and issues in digital newsstands. I think I want to step back a bit, by showing you this slide, which talks about two different things. In 2005, in the Vatican City, and then in 2013, again in the Vatican City, just down the road, where if you see in 2005, people were seeing this particular event, and nobody had one or two people with smart device or something, even though there were devices at that point. But in 2013, if you see, everybody had a smart device in their hand. There were photographs. I can see people in the audience having their cameras up right now. So, what are we trying to say right now? We are saying that there's a huge explosion in tablet and smart device usership all over the world. 1.8 billion smart devices to be shipped this year alone, right? And if you see just below that, it says that this year there's going to be more mobile devices globally than human beings. So I think at some level, people are having multiple screens. They want to use all kinds of devices to be able to get their content, whether it's taking photographs or whether it's reading magazines or books or watching TV. It's kind of going to be multi-screen, and it's all in their hand, right? And some interesting statistics. Usually when people stand in a department store line and they're going to buy something, they kind of wait in line, and they have this chewing gum and Kit Kat and stuff like that. But today they're all on their phones, and nobody has time to buy that. So that's kind of changing trends thanks to the mobile kind of explosion that's happening. So coming closer to what publishers like you do right now, I've kind of compared the physical business with the digital business. When people say, what is a digital newsstand? I think everyone knows what a physical newsstand is, a place where people buy books and magazines and stuff like that, right? It's in the corner of pretty much every street in every town. So physical newsstand, you end up with your magazine, you send it to your editorial teams, they put it together, they send it to the printer, and in most cases, printing is outsourced, comes back to a distributor, he then physically sends it to everyone. Right? This is what's been happening for hundreds of years, and this is kind of where if I'm going to go through some slides where I show you some bit of the evolution of the whole business, where this entire thing I've made into something called the integrated digital newsstand. The word integrated I've added because though the panel is about digital newsstands, integrated because at Magzter, what we are doing is we help you create the content, we help you put it up on the cloud, which is your printing machines at this point, and we distribute it across all these devices without having you to have your own technology team, we want you as publishers to focus on what you do best, which is creating great content. And we do what we do best, which is delivering that content in various formats and various form factors on the fly at no cost to you, directly to the consumer. So you start earning money from the word go. So how did this all happen? Why newsstands, right? Everyone's like, I'll do it myself. Every big publisher we meet for the first time, he's like, I have my own technology team, this is my magazine, I want to do it myself, right? And they're sitting and reinventing the entire wheel. But if you look at the whole digital kind of evolution from when music and movies and books, everything came up, and when the iPad launched in 2010, everyone said the magazine industry is being revived. And all the big publishers decided to put their monies behind their own apps on Apple, their own systems. But if you look at it, I would say 2011 was the digital newsstand revolution. When Apple launched a newsstand, Magzter, of course, thank you very much, we launched in 2011 as well. And it's kind of how the world is going towards digital, and magazines are kind of the last ones which went into that business. And if you look at a specific case study, I would take the music business. You would see a Sony Music would be a huge music label. And in the early days, in 1995, they had their own website, they had their own device, they had their own, everything was, Sony would sell only inside a Sony device, right? So, but the consumer doesn't want that. They want to buy everything in one place. So if you look at what Sony did, if you cut to scene in 2013, they're on iTunes, they're on Pandora, they're on pretty much every aggregation platform. So they continue to create the content, the great music, and they allow publishers, in that sense, the newsstands of the music world, which is iTunes and the others, to sell their content. So that's exactly the way we are looking at digital books and magazines with Amazon, iBooks, Magzter, friends at Zinio. We've got, basically, we enable you to sell across the world. And that's the trend across digital platforms. So if you look at history, the guys who did it themselves over time realized that the cost benefit of having their own teams and having their own software is far outweighing the fact that somebody else can sell it for you and do a better job at it than you. So that's how Magzter started in 2011, just about 2 years ago. But within 2 years, we've got 14 million downloads. We've got more than 2,500 magazines. I think more than 60% of the audience here is already on Magzter. The remaining 40, we are at a stall down the road, so you can come on board soon. I mean, we're able to kind of transcend languages, transcend countries. We are available across the globe. We've got consumers from almost 200 countries right now for a 2-year-old company. And what are the benefits of a newsstand itself, right? We have millions of users who form this kind of an ecosystem, right? So we have people who from all over the world who want to buy content, who want to read content, so they come to a newsstand. Then you are able to cross-sell content. You are able to sell magazines. If you have mag books, if you have any other content, you can send it to the same consumer. And there is no upfront cost. At least for a Magzter type system, there is no cost associated. And you can really reach new global audiences. I think that's the key. You have a product which is maybe in the UK, in Italy, in US, but you can really reach global audiences. A quick case study of a publisher who came to us when early days. They had 30 magazines, and they came and told us, hey, I don't want to spend any money upfront. I don't want to add any teams. I want to deliver across the board on all smart devices. I want to be pretty much everywhere. So we were able to get them up and running within 60 minutes, right? So this is the kind of power of having a newsstand like an aggregator who is able to take your content and sell it for you and make money without you having to spend money other than creating the content, right? And here's a myth. Many people say, you're a newsstand, I can't do interactive magazine. I need some other software to do that. But this is completely untrue. So you can actually create interactive magazines and engage your readers even inside newsstands. It's not like you have to have your own app to do that. And the other thing is we want to also get advertiser kind of into the whole thing. So we are able to get advertising into the magazine, which is also interactive. So the whole idea is that not only your content to be interactive, your advertising can also be interactive. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do and enable the newsstand. The newsstand can enable you as publishers to not only reach or engage your consumer, but also who your advertisers as well. So quickly to some serious discussion on a quick couple of slides on piracy. I mean, piracy is there in all types of content. I think that was one of the topics for today. Music is being pirated, movies are being pirated. The good news for magazines is it has a definite shelf life at some level. So the piracy there is much less. If you have a weekly within the next week, it's not, people don't read it anymore at that level. So, but in magazine business, I think there are a lot of sources of piracy. I think I've enumerated some of the sources. But one of the key features we believe is that rich media content, like a 3D movie for the movie industry, kind of deters piracy. And you can't pirate a 3D movie. You can, like that, if you have a rich media content, you will be able to, like an interactive magazine, you're able to stop the pirates because they normally do the PDFs at this point. And I believe that publishers and newsstands should join together to fight this together as a task force. And at Magzter, since we work only on a revenue share model, we don't charge you any fees. So if anything is pirated, we stand to lose as much as the publisher, or in some cases more than the publisher. So we encrypt, we protect, we put all kinds of firewalls. We try to ensure that nothing happens to your content. And we also are working with Google, with various governments to kind of block and ban pirated sites all over the world, because that's something that we need to do together. So I think this is all kind of an ongoing process of educating and kind of stopping piracy. and that's something that we all need to do together. But here's the good news. I mean, here's the Pricewaterhouse report, which says by 2016, the consumer magazine digital market is going to be about $8.3 billion. So I want to kind of leave you with this slide, which says that it's not going bad at any point. It's all going up. And I think Mark also showed some great numbers for digital. So digital publishing is not a gamble. I think it's the future. And the newsstands are here to stay as aggregators to help you guys. Thank you very much.